Hello everyone. Hi. Let everyone get hooked up and connected. Greetings from Prince George. It's Ann Holmes coming to you from my backyard in northern BC. A little cloudy. Hope it doesn't get rainy on me in the next 30 minutes. So thank you to British Columbia Golf for partnering with Active Health Solutions and myself, and we're bringing you Front 9 Fitness, and it's a gentle fitness stretch, range of mobility, range of motion, and a bit of strength for preparation for the golf season. So the equipment that you need today is a book, and I have, it's kind of a heavy old research book, or I have a yoga mat that's about the same height as well, and also if you have a lanyard, or even a towel, or we can use your golf club. But I also have a stretch band. You can also, if you had one of those, a fitness loop or a band or anything like that, and you wanted to take it up a notch, is a good implement that you can use for this class. So here we go. Let's start with our dynamic warm-up. Let's try some rotation, some just gentle, easy rotation here. Swing your arms, nice wide body. Work at your own pace. This class is for your own level and your own pace, so just be a little bit careful of your range of motion limitations. Okay, and let's switch it to a weed pull. So down and up with a nice full extension at the top. A few people online, that's excellent. Thank you for joining us. Let's do 2 more, and we're going to switch sides. And switch. And I'm just going to take a little breather after this one to check the comments, because I'm hoping my mic is working. I never did a test before this. Last one. Okay, so let's switch it to a half jack here. Okay, or if you want to do a full jumping jack, you do it, but you can do a half jack and stay low to the ground. Hey Pat, Brenda, Doreen, Huff. Thanks for joining us. So you're doing your half jack. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. And then let's switch it to a high knee. All right, couple more here. And then a bum kick. You're going right behind you. Bum kick. I have a few new exercises for us planned today. So if you've been doing the tapes or been doing the videos already, you'll see a few newbies. So hopefully I can explain them and they can make sense. Switch it to a kick. So it's an opposite hand to opposite toe. And the last one that we're going to do is I want you to get into a little squat position and do 2 steps over and 2 steps over. Switch direction. So I kind of go in and out of frame here, but that's okay. You know what I'm doing. Let's go back and forth one more time. All right, now we're heading to the wall. And the first one, we've done this one every class. It's our range of motion at the ankle. So with your foot about 6 inches away from the wall, you're going to give it a press, keeping that foot flat on the ground. And switch sides. Okay, press that knee. And last one. All right, turn perpendicular sideways and let's swing, swing, swing. Loosening up those hips. And you can switch legs. forgot to do our calf press. So you can use the wall if you need it. You can face the wall, you can go sideways, but up and down. And this time we're going to stretch all the way up and then rock back onto those heels. Up and then rock. Let's do 5 of those. I think that's 3. Last one. All right, hip lists. And now this one, I'll show you from the front for anybody that's new with my chair. And you're just getting some mobility through that pelvis. So your one leg is anchoring to the ground and the other one is just pulling straight up. And you really need a lot of good, what is it, L5, S1 mobility. Switch sides to get this one moving. Now next week, I think I'm going to show you these ones and we're going to continue to use our book and I'll show you how we can get even more range of motion with this one. So let's switch it in. Little internal, external rotation here. Again, you can be doing this at the wall. Switch sides. And again, you'll see I never count anything. I just sort of think about something and then switch and change it up. So hopefully we get it even. The next one I wanted to do was the cat-cow stretch on the wall. So we're working through our full vertebrae, spinal mobility here. And so you want to really press your back out and round it and then move it all the way through to an arch and then drop your head around your back. We're going to do this a few times. And then crazy cat. So hands come down the wall just a little bit and we're going to kind of rotate, and this is more for the side body. So you're going to just start some gentle rotation. Let's do one more on either side. Alrighty, checking my list. Oh, PEC stretch. So this one's new. So if you want to do this one in your door jamb, this is probably one you've done lots in your door jamb, but hand goes up on the wall and we've got an elbow at 90 degrees and then we're just going to step forward, because what I want you to feel is that these big powerful muscles of our chest, of our pectoralis muscles, we want to stretch them. We get them so tight as we are hunched over all the time, right? They just get shorter and shorter, and so we need to open you back up. Okay, and then we're going to switch sides. And this one again, if you want to do this one on your door jamb, this is such a good stretch to do that. This stretch in a door jamb, a great place to do that. So this is our pec stretch. Feels pretty good. I've been hunched over. I have one exam left to mark. I'm so excited. Facing away from the wall, so back to the wall. And we did this one last time. We're going to reach around. And you don't have to get both hands on, but trying to maintain those hips facing forward, because this is a upper spine, a thoracic spine twist here. I can't quite get there, but I'm not close enough to the wall. So reaching around and go the other direction. So last class we did this one and it was way more gentle. Let's do that one more time on either side, because I have a couple of rotation ones that we're going to need to be nice and warm for today. And switch, last one on this exercise. Please keep breathing. I tend to hold my breath on this one. So keep breathing, keep breathing. All right, loosen that up. Grab your lanyard or grab your towel or even your golf club. So what you can do is outward, okay? So I hook it with my thumbs, or you can also hook it with, like in my case, I have a lanyard, so hook it with your hands. So the first one, you want to pull them apart, and we do these in groups of 5, but if you wanted to do 8 or even more, but you want to create that tension, arms straight out in front of you, and you want to pull apart 5 times. 3, there we go. Now we're going to do some nice big circles. Oh, I can hear some cracking happening in those shoulders. Crick, 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 crick. I'm not sure if that's 5, but when we've done 5, we're going to go the other direction. So these are our big circles. This gives me a chance to check in and say hi. Hey, Irene from the island. Okay, with that extension again, it's like a steering wheel. So they're called globe rotations. So again, your arms are fully extended. Now, personally, these little, because I'm creating a little bit of tension, so these little shoulder movements, I find very fatiguing. Very quickly, they get very tired. Okay, again with that tension, and you can do it here, but I want you to imagine you're doing an air push-up. So that's what it's going to look like. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Next one is behind our backs, and you're going to hook it, and then create some tension there, roll it back, and then 5 presses. 1. I'm going to do an extra one. I think I started late. All right, so that was our grouping of 5. So I like that one. And again, if you have a band that you want to use, you can hold your band. We do it with the fitness loops here, and it really gets into, this more into those little tiny shoulder stabilizer muscles and your rotator cuff muscles. So that's a really good one to use. Especially if you're rehabbing a shoulder injury, those have to be very gentle then. Wrist, grab your golf club. We're going to start loosening up our wrists. So with our wrists, no flinging, no ballistic type of movements. I want it to be gentle and purposeful. So a few up downs, flexion extensions. All right, and now we're going to create a little bit of rotation. Okay, here we go. All right, with your hands underneath, you can go a little bit wider than shoulder width here, and you're going to push it out. So this is external rotation, nice and gentle. Go to the other side. Keep looking over at my little whiteboard. I make a nice little lesson plan, but it's not pounded into my brain. I've been marking too much, and my brain is full of all kinds of other stuff at the moment. All right, so that's external rotation. Now to do internal rotation, we have to swing the club over behind us, because internal rotation is actually reaching behind to, where is that club? Right there. And now we're going to pull upward very gently, because we need the shoulder to internally rotate. So it has to be open and then internally rotate. And so very gently, it creates a little bit of a pull when we pull upward with the top hand. Okay, so I always think that most of us have one good side and one little dodgy side. So let's try the other one and swing it over. Okay, find it, whoop, on the, and then you're going to go gently from the bottom, pull upward. This is that exercise when you were a kid, so keep going, when you tried to reach your hands and touch, and I have one side that I can totally do and one side that's just miles apart. So that one rolls those shoulders back and down. Let's work on our hinge right here. Here we go. So a hinge is a nice flat back position. and we want to lead with our backside, right? Anchor into those heels, create the counterbalance. Start warming up those hamstrings and our big bum muscles, the ones that support us walking up and down all those hills and support us to swing all those times when we're out playing. They're the biggest muscles of the body, so we really have to make sure that they're nice and strong and have good range of motion, because for most of us, we just sit on them now, and when they get tucked under, right, we change our pelvis, the position of our pelvis, and then it changes these hip flexors, right? These ones get stuck in this position, and they're meant to fire, and they're meant to move this way and contract. So we got to really take care of those ones. That's what gives us so much back pain. Okay, pyramid lunge. So this is the one forward, and I'm going to back up so that you can see, hopefully see my front foot. So into this pyramid lunge, okay, club is on the same side of that bent knee, and now we're going to just put it into motion, and now raise that heel. Let's do a few of those, and you should feel it go a little deeper into that hip flexor. Okay, and come out of it. Sides. I'm giving you the club for stability, but if you need that chair there, you do it. I want you to make sure that you're nice and safe. And again, working at your own pace. And it doesn't have to be deep. It just has to open up that hip. And if you need to tuck your pelvis under a little bit more, that'll dig a little bit deeper into that hip flexor. And then you can pop that heel up. All right, come out of it. Let's give that a little shake. Last one, wide grip swing here, and all the way up onto that follow-through side. I'm not bouncing my microphone around. I caught it with my shoulder. Last one. All right, now flip your brain over and go the opposite direction. So think about your back swing on the opposite side. This is going to create some muscle balance. Golf is so one-sided, and it's ballistic. It's an explosive movement. So that's how we get some of those injuries, but we need to really be balanced. Now you can put your club down. I have one more exercise that is new that I want to show you before we get to our 4 strength exercises. So hands in a prayer position, and you want to create tension, pushing them in. So it's like a prayer with tension, and you're in your long iron swing here. Okay, so you're in your, imagine you've got your long iron swing. Now you're going to shift those hands into a prayer position. You're going to do a back swing, and then as you follow through, I want you to push and create some tension. Really stretch it out there. Okay, let's do maybe a few of these, 5 or 6. Push. Turn, push. Let's do a couple more. Now really, you got to engage your core. So these are your oblique muscles that go this way, and this is what gives us all the power. Let's do one more. And let's see if we can do a few the opposite direction. Back swing, so you get to 90. Push and get right up onto that toe side on the follow-through side. Oh, that one was so sloppy. For those of you that have hand weights, this one isn't a bad one to do. You can do a turn and then push, but I wouldn't do anything heavy, nice and light, because as we push out away from our body, that lever gets really long, and as that weight gets further away from us, this is where, if we're not properly warmed up, or if it's too heavy, this is when we, hurt our shoulders and strain muscles and things like that. So if you had something nice and light, that one's a good one. And we do that one in the studio with a medicine ball. So we'll turn and then almost put it like push it onto a wall, and then it comes back and bounces and we catch it. So that's kind of a fun one, and you've probably seen those videos, of Rory and Dustin's workouts. And so those are modified, but we can do them without weight and at our own pace. Okay, so we're switching. How's our time doing? I feel like I'm racing a bit because I feel like my exercises for strength are going to take a little more time. So grab your book and you're going to put it on the floor. So hopefully you got a phone book or something you don't mind stepping on. Like I said, this is a research book. No problem there. All right, 1 foot up on the book. So you just have a little bit of a riser for 1 foot. So this is an offset squat. Now very gently, as you're going down with your squat position, I want you to figure out how to do this so that your hips stay level and that your posture doesn't collapse. So it's going to feel weird because you've got one leg is wanting to dominate and take over. But when you think about, so let's do 15 of those and just take it slow so that your brain process. Actually, sorry, we're doing 10 because we're going to switch sides. Now, if you wanted to do this with a weight, you could, and I'm going to do it from the side so you can see if I'm getting into that nice flat back position. But when we have offset lies, right? So we're in the middle of swinging and we've got a hill, so 1 foot up and 1 foot down. How do we stay balanced so that we're not flopping all over the place? Because that's when we chunk the grass or whiff or hit it off the toe or something like that. So switch sides. Oh, the sun's coming out. Switch sides, plop that other foot up on that book and get into your nice squat position, and let's do 10 on the other side. See, this one, my hip wants to pop up, so it's kind of teasing me to get into a goofy position. But try it to think about how you would keep your hips square, nice and level. And I'm not perfect at getting it 50-50. I think one leg is always going to be stronger and want to take over, and that's okay. All right, kick that book out of the way. Grab the back of that chair if you need it, or the wall, and we're going to do a tip. So a tip is one leg goes back and the opposite. So I always do my leg that's closest to the chair goes back, and I'm going to reach down with the other hand, and as we come up, I want you to raise that knee. Now, if you wanted and had a weight, you could hang on to it in this free hand. So these tips are for those long back muscles, the erector spinae muscles that keep us upright. So these are postural muscles. And by doing it as a single leg, we're getting a little more core and a little more oblique. So for that stability for our rotational sport that we play. I've lost count. I don't know. Let's do 2 more. I'm too busy talking. Okay, now if you spin around, that works, but in my case, I'm going to face the camera. So my inside leg is the one that goes back and then comes up. Now ideally, at some point, we'd be able to do this without tipping over. Okay, I need some work on my balance. That's a little obvious. Let alone adding weight. Ay, ay, ay. I have lost count again. I always never think it's a bad thing. It's muscle endurance. So we're just enduring more of it. We're not doing lots of strength. We're not throwing heavy things around. 1 more. Okay, so that's a tip with a raised knee. Staggered push-up. So as we get to the wall, I want you to just alternate. 1 hand up, 1 hand down. You're going to do maybe 8 or 6, depending on how many push-ups you want to do, because then we have to switch. So 1 hand up, 1 hand down. Wiggle those feet back as far as you want. Seven, and there's 8 for me, and now I'm going to switch up and downs, nice and gentle. I think that's 7 and 8. And you can do these ones on the ground. So we've done lots of variations. We've done rainbows and we've done straight push-ups. We've done diamond push-ups. You can also do them on the floor, and you can still try and stagger. They're a little bit trickier, and you can do them off of your toes or off of your knees. Last exercise. How's my time doing? Perfect. With your book or your weight or whatever you've got, and this is a wood chop, so we're going to come from down low, nice and high. Activate that core, get a little bit of a squat going. We had lots of rotation today. Offset moves. We're getting closer, I think, at least in BC. Well, northern BC, our course will be open on Saturday, so I kind of feel like the stakes are a little bit higher. All right, switch sides. You're going to go low to high the other direction. Last couple. I just wanted to point out that when I do these exercises, I like to keep a triangle. So if I was golfing, right, and had my grip down here, I'd have this nice triangle position with 2 arms and then across my shoulder. And when I'm doing them, my triangle has to go with my chest, because in golf, we can do a lot of stuff with our arms, but without any rotation. So there's a difference when we do it properly. So when we're doing those types of activities, those exercises, right? That's when we did this one. We turn, and then everything is joined up and in front of us instead of our arms cutting across our body. Because as soon as our arms are too busy in the golf swing, we start hitting slices. You don't want to do that. Before we switch to our stretching, let's just do a tiny bit of balance here, and you can use the back of your chair. And I want you to try an airplane position. So kicking one foot back, and instead of letting that hip pop up, keep that hip nice and flat. Those hips nice and flat, sorry. And then as you need, try and work your hands off of your chair or whatever you're using to balance. All right, shake that out, and you can switch sides. Switch legs into that airplane on the other side. So this is a Warrior 3 pose in yoga. For those yogis out there, you guys should be way ahead of someone like me. So hopefully your balance is coming along. I haven't worked on mine, so it feels like it's struggling a bit. All right, let's do our cool down, our stretch. So hopefully I'm feeling warm today. So I think those little extras, exercises were a little bit more gung-ho. All right, grabbing underneath your chair. And let's roll our neck out. And if you do find that little knot or that part in your neck that's a little sticky, stay there, hover there, and then move to another spot. Reaching to the outside and reach to the back. Let's do a little rotation. Glad the rain held off. It was sunny for 10 seconds. And another cloud rolled in. Let's switch side. Hand to the outside of that knee. Go the other direction. Release. Come to the front of your chair. One leg out straight. Pop that toe up. Come forward into a hamstring stretch. Hey, Anita. I miss you at the studio. Oh, hopefully we release something out of that hamstring. Cross it over. Let's get into that piriformis a little bit. And now you want to get that knee down a little bit externally rotated. Nice tall bodies, nice tall posture here. And then if you need to come forward for a little bit more range of motion. And release. Let's switch. Extension there. Pop that toe up with a nice bend from the hips. You don't want to crunch. You want to bend from the hips, bend forward for that hamstring. Next class, I'll be back with you on Tuesday, and I was hoping, with in addition to your club, that you'd bring that wooden spoon or that spatula back. We're going to try a few more things, and also keep that book handy, because we'll do some more kind of offset stuff, and we might even use it for a bit of extra resistance. Release and cross that foot over. Let's get into that piriformis. Ooh, nice tall push. You might have to try and push that knee down a little and then come forward if you have a little bit of range of motion left in you. And release. Let's turn sideways on our chair. Get into that lunge position again. Love this one. Some hip extension. We all need it. Especially for someone like me who's doing an awful lot and way too much sitting. My exam should be marked today, and then it'll be done. And up we go. Outside hand comes up, and then it's going to tip towards that chair. Deep into that hip flexor. And release. Let's swing it over to the other side. Oop. My stretch. Rush through everything and then slow down for my stretch. Nice lunge position. Stretch it back. Tall, tall, tall. And up on the outside and back towards the back of the chair. And release. Back facing forward. Let's round our back. Push straight out. Round, drop your head. Now lift it up. High to the sky, to the ceiling. Open and cactus arms. Blow it out. One more time. Push forward. Drop your head. Raise it up. And exhale as we bring it down. So next class, back to your wooden spoon, your golf club, and a book. We will see you on Tuesday. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me for Front 9 Fitness.